If you're hearing this right now, it's not by accident. Something inside your consciousness has reached the exact vibration that allows you to receive what I'm about to reveal. There exists a hidden quantum frequency so powerful, so precise, that the moment you align with it, reality stops obeying the rules you've been taught. Time bends, circumstances rearrange, and the story of who you think you are begins to dissolve. This isn't imagination or belief. It's the physics of consciousness rewriting itself. Don't look away, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you the frequency that's been shaping your destiny all along. There comes a moment when the world around you begins to feel different. The air seems alive, charged, as if something unseen is listening. You speak and it answers not through words, but through perfectly timed events. Coincidences too precise to be coincidence. Maybe you felt it, the call that came exactly when you needed it, the door that opened just after you surrendered hope, the feeling that reality itself was bending to meet you. This is where the hidden quantum frequency begins to reveal itself, not as sound, but as vibration of consciousness. You have never been separate from it. You've simply been tuned to noise, beliefs, fears, the static of thought. But when the static fades, when the mind quiets just enough, a deeper rhythm emerges underneath everything. It's the pulse of creation itself, the heartbeat of the divine field that holds all possible realities. And when your consciousness starts to move in harmony with that pulse, reality begins to respond in kind. It's not that you suddenly gain new powers, it's that you remember how the universe actually works. The field is not out there, it's within, around, and as you. It mirrors your state exactly, without judgment, without delay. When you vibrate in fear, it echoes fear. When you vibrate in clarity, it rearranges worlds to match clarity. Reality is not fixed. It's a feedback loop of consciousness endlessly rewriting itself according to the signal you broadcast. Every thought, every emotion, every silent intention is a frequency sent into the field. And the field never fails to respond, but most people don't realize they're transmitting chaos, contradictory signals of wanting and resisting, hoping and fearing at once. The result is static confusion patterns repeating over and over. The moment you start to align, truly align with one coherent frequency of being, something miraculous happens. The noise falls away. The timeline that felt stuck begins to move. The universe starts listening again. This is not about forcing positive thoughts or pretending to be calm. It's about entering resonance, authentic, undeniable coherence between who you are inside and what you allow outside. That coherence is the quantum language of creation. The ancients called it prayer, surrender, faith. Scientists call it wave interference and resonance. But beneath every term lies the same truth: the universe is not responding to what you say, it's responding to what you are. When you stand in pure presence, no grasping, no pushing, your frequency becomes clear enough for the field to recognize itself through you. That recognition is what rewrites destiny. Because destiny isn't a fixed script. It's a living algorithm recalculating every time you shift vibration. The hidden frequency doesn't change the world for you. It changes the version of the world you experience. There are infinite realities overlapping in this very moment, and consciousness chooses which one to inhabit by the frequency it emits. The more you align, the faster reality reorganizes. The more you resist, the louder the distortion becomes. But right now, in this exact breath, you are already broadcasting something. The question is, do you know what you're transmitting? Feel into your body. Listen beneath thought. There's a hum, faint but constant, connecting every cell, every heartbeat, every breath to the same cosmic rhythm. That's not imagination. That's the signal of the field waiting for your awareness to match it. And when it does, when your mind finally quiets enough to let the signal through, reality will begin to listen again. not as your servant, but as your reflection. Beneath every breath you take, beneath the pulse of your heart, there is an invisible architecture, a living geometry holding all that exists. Scientists call it the quantum field. Mystics call it God, source, or infinite intelligence. But the truth is far simpler and infinitely more profound. It is consciousness observing itself through you. Every particle, every atom, every flicker of light is coded with awareness vibrating at frequencies that together compose the symphony of creation. You've never been outside of it because there is no outside. What appears as the world around you is consciousness folded in on itself, exploring its own reflection. The moment you perceive the field collapses its infinite possibilities into a single experience that matches the vibration of your perception. This is the code of reality. It doesn't respond to effort, logic, or struggle. It responds to coherence, how aligned your inner field is with the universal rhythm that birthed it. Think of your mind as a tuning fork, constantly resonating with whatever signal it holds most strongly. When the signal is fear, the world seems threatening. When the signal is love, the same world glows with possibility. Nothing external has changed, only the frequency of observation, and that single shift rewrites what reality can show you. David Bohm called it the implicate order, the underlying unity from which all visible things unfold. Within that order, time and space are only projections of deeper harmony, and consciousness is the pen writing existence moment by moment. When you understand this not as theory but as living truth, you begin to see that you are not the character in the story. You are the author dreaming the story and the paper it's written on. Every thought you think, every feeling you sustain sends ripples through that quantum sea, organizing matter, aligning events, guiding encounters that seem accidental but are meticulously orchestrated by the code itself. The code is neutral, exact, mercilessly precise. It gives you not what you ask for, but what you are. So if you pray for abundance while vibrating lack, the field mirrors lack with perfect accuracy. If you hope for love while broadcasting unworthiness, it can only echo the frequency you hold. But when you dissolve resistance, when you begin to feel what you desire as already existing within the stillness of now, the code updates. Reality compiles a new version of itself. You can almost feel the algorithms shifting, people appear, timing aligns, the impossible rearranges itself around the magnet of your coherence. The ancients understood this as faith. The physicists describe it as wave function collapse. Both are the same process, observation fused with belief, reorganizing probability into tangible experience. And yet this isn't a technique, it's remembrance. You're not learning to control the field. You're remembering that you are the field. The quantum code isn't hidden from you, it's written into the structure of your own awareness, waiting to be read without interference. To decode it, you don't need more knowledge, you need silence. Because silence is the natural language of the field. When you become silent inside, reality reveals its syntax, the grammar of existence itself. You begin to feel patterns instead of thinking them. You sense guidance rather than search for it. In that awareness, the separation between observer and observed dissolves completely, and you awaken to the truth that consciousness never left the field to begin with. It simply forgot its authorship. Every challenge, every miracle, every twist of destiny is the code inviting you to remember. And once you do, once you see that observation and creation are the same act, the entire script of your life becomes editable. You can choose again. You can rewrite what it means to be you. Because in this very moment, you're not decoding the field, you're being decoded by it. Line by line, breath by breath, until you remember that you were never just reading reality. You were writing it all along. There always comes a breaking point, the moment when the life you built no longer fits the vibration you've become. Everything that used to define you begins to fall apart. The plans, the identities, the relationships you thought would last forever suddenly feel too small, like clothes that once fit but now constrict your breath. You call it failure, loss, depression, confusion. But from the field's perspective, it is none of those things. It is synchronization preparing to happen. The collapse is not life punishing you. It's life recalibrating you. Consciousness cannot rise in frequency while still clinging to the structures built from old energy. So the field in its perfect intelligence begins to dismantle whatever you mistake for permanence. Jobs dissolve, friendships drift, goals disintegrate, everything false begins to shake loose. You plead for stability, but the universe hears your deeper request, the silent call to awaken. And so it answers by taking away everything that keeps you asleep. That is the hidden mercy of collapse. What looks like destruction is only transformation viewed from within resistance. When you finally stop fighting, when you surrender to the falling apart, something miraculous begins to emerge underneath the wreckage. Silence, spaciousness, an awareness that observes without fear. In that stillness, the field that always was becomes visible again. It's as if a storm has passed and the sky clears, revealing that the sun never stopped shining. You start to sense that even loss has order, even pain has rhythm, even despair has a kind of sacred choreography guiding you toward remembrance. Every heartbreak is the universe tuning your frequency to a higher coherence. The old identity must die so the field can express itself through a clearer vessel. And in that death, you encounter something extraordinary, the space between thoughts, the still point where nothing is missing. For the first time, you're not trying to fix the collapse. You're watching it. You realize that awareness itself is untouched, that the one who observes can never be destroyed. This is when the field begins to awaken through you. Energy that was once trapped in fear starts to flow freely again. The mind no longer needs to explain everything. The body relaxes into presence. Even grief softens into something luminous. The field is rebuilding you from the inside out, forming new patterns that match your true vibration. The process isn't comfortable, but it is precise. Every dismantling is matched by a birth you cannot yet see. The more completely you allow the fall, the smoother the reconstruction becomes. The field never punishes, it recalibrates. It strips away what is not you so that what you truly are can finally emerge. From the ashes of control rises a deeper intelligence. The knowing that you were never the one managing the process to begin with. You are always being moved, guided, shaped by the same consciousness that spins galaxies and grows trees. The collapse only feels personal because you still believe you are the architect. When that illusion dissolves, the fear disappears with it. You start to see beauty in the breakdown. The timing of every ending begins to feel perfect. Gratitude quietly replaces grief, and in that gratitude, your frequency rises without effort. That's when the impossible begins to happen. Synchronicities multiply, time bends, people you need appear. It's not luck, it's resonance reestablishing itself. You've stopped resisting what is, and now what is begins to move in your favor. Every collapse carries the seed of synchronization because the moment the ego structure falls, the field finally has room to breathe through you. What you once called losing yourself is the first step toward meeting your true self, the consciousness behind all forms. You don't need to rebuild yet, just rest in the silence that remains when everything else is gone. That silence is the field introducing itself. And from that silence, an entirely new reality is about to be born through you. There comes a time when the invisible begins to announce itself. Subtle at first, like whispers behind your thoughts, then louder until you can no longer pretend that coincidence is coincidence. These are not random moments. They are signals, messages from the quantum field confirming that your consciousness is beginning to move in harmony with its frequency. The first signal is timelessness. You lose track of hours, days, sometimes even linear sequence. It's not confusion, it's coherence. The mind stops slicing existence into past and future. And what remains is an endless now so vivid that even silence hums. In this state, time bends around awareness, not the other way around. The second signal is instant knowing, ideas, solutions, entire lifetimes of understanding appearing whole in a single moment. There's no process, no analysis. Knowledge downloads fully formed, bypassing intellect as if the field itself decided to think through you. The third signal is unity consciousness. The boundaries between you and everything else dissolve. The tree, the stranger, the light on the water all feel like extensions of the same awareness gazing back at itself. Compassion stops being an effort and becomes perception. You no longer love because you should. You love because separation feels physically impossible. The fourth signal is effortless manifestation. Things begin to arrange themselves with orchestral precision. You think of a person and they appear. You need a resource and it materializes. It's not magic. It's mathematics of resonance, the field organizing itself according to the clarity of your vibration. The fifth signal is spontaneous healing. Pain, fatigue, old emotional wounds begin to dissolve without therapy or control. What you once tried to fix now fixes itself because the energy of wholeness has returned to flow unobstructed. Your body remembers its blueprint of perfection when consciousness stops interfering. The sixth signal is 0-point presence. A neutrality so alive it feels sacred. There is no grasping, no resistance, only a vast stillness containing every possibility. From that stillness, action arises naturally, precise and effortless, guided by intelligence far beyond the mind. The seventh signal is being lived by life itself. You no longer feel like the doer of actions. Life moves through you as you for its own joy of expression. Words speak themselves, choices happen without effort. Everything unfolds with impossible timing because the one who tried to control has merged with the one who creates. These 7 signals are not goals to chase, they are confirmations of alignment. When they appear, they are evidence that the field has found resonance through your awareness. And yet, even as they arise, the ego tries to claim ownership. I did it. I must hold on. That grasping is the only thing that can break the synchronization. So you learn to simply witness the signs, to let them flow without attachment, knowing they are not the destination but the language of the field communicating yes. I recognize you. Each signal deepens coherence, strengthening the bridge between the human and the divine within you. And as coherence grows, the field becomes responsive in real time. Thoughts manifest faster, emotions echo louder. Intuition becomes instantaneous. The feedback loop tightens until the delay between vibration and manifestation nearly vanishes. That is the proof that you have entered quantum alignment, the realm where destiny is rewritten by awareness itself. But to sustain it, you must know how to maintain resonance, how to live from the frequency rather than visit it in moments of grace. The field will show you how if you know where to listen, and that listening begins with a single realization. Synchronization isn't something you achieve, it's something you remember. You are always the signal. You are always the field recognizing itself. The only question now is, how do you stay there? How do you keep the frequency stable when life's noise returns? The answer lies in the 7 daily recognitions that anchor you back into the field's rhythm every single day. The field doesn't need you to perform rituals or chant mantras. It only needs you to remember how to listen. The resonance protocol isn't a method you learn, it's the pattern consciousness naturally follows when it stops fighting itself. 7 recognitions, simple, ordinary moments become gateways to extraordinary coherence. The first is, I am the field. Whisper it softly inside, not as affirmation, but as recognition. Feel what happens when you stop being a fragment reaching for wholeness and remember that you already are. the wholeness reaching for nothing. For a second, the mind hesitates, the body tingles, and the edges of identity loosen. That space between breaths is the beginning of synchronization. The second is allowing. Reality only resists you when you resist it first. Let everything be exactly as it is, no fixing, no judging. Acceptance is not passive. It's the ultimate act of power because it removes distortion. When you allow, energy moves again. The third is surrender intention to intelligence. State your desire clearly, then release it completely. The moment you surrender the how and when, the field begins its orchestration. Your wish becomes a command written in frequency, not in thought. The fourth is inspired action. Action born from inspiration feels light, inevitable, obvious. It carries no strain. You sense it as an inner click, this now. When you follow that click, doors open without force. The fifth is embrace not knowing. The ego builds cages from certainty. The field lives in mystery. The less you need to know, the more the unknown can reveal itself as perfect order. Not knowing is freedom disguised as uncertainty. The sixth is recognize consciousness in all forms. Look into another's eyes and see yourself looking back. Touch a leaf and realize the same intelligence breathing in you is breathing in it. When you perceive unity, the illusion of distance dissolves and compassion becomes instinct. The seventh is live as presence, not story. The field has no biography. It only knows now. Each time you drop the narrative, who hurt you, who you must become, you return to 0-point awareness, the still hub from which infinite timelines spin. From that hub, creation flows without interference. Practice together, these recognitions recalibrate the human instrument. They align thought, emotion, and body into one coherent frequency. And coherence is the signature the field responds to. When your signal is clean, life reorganizes with mathematical precision. Situations that once demanded struggle begin to resolve themselves. People shift, opportunities appear, resistance melts. You feel carried by an unseen current that somehow always knows the shortest route. This is not luck. It's physics of consciousness, the same equations that govern light and sound. Now governing your reality because you finally vibrate in phase with them. Do not rush these steps. Each is a portal, and together they form a rhythm, the breath of the universe inhaling and exhaling through you. The more you recognize, the less you need to do. Eventually, recognition becomes constant, a living awareness humming beneath every action. That is stabilization. That is mastery without effort. When the 7 recognitions become as natural as breathing, you no longer chase alignment. You live as alignment. Reality doesn't need your control, it needs your coherence. And coherence begins every time you remember, I am the field, allowing what is, surrendering what will be, acting from inspiration, resting in mystery, seeing oneness everywhere, living as presence now. This is the true practice, not a path upward, but a return inward to the frequency that never stopped calling your name. Listen. It's already playing beneath your thoughts, waiting for you to join the rhythm. There comes a threshold where effort ends. The moment you cross it, creation stops feeling like something you do and begins to move through you with a clarity that leaves no trace of struggle. You wake in the morning and notice that life is already happening in perfect sequence before your mind can plan it. Conversations unfold with flawless timing. People arrive as answers to questions you hadn't yet asked. The field has taken over, not as an external force, but as your own intelligence liberated from resistance. You are no longer manifesting. You are being manifested. The same current that births galaxies now arranges your day. The difference is not what you do, but how you move. You act without trying, speak without rehearsing, decide without hesitation. What once demanded calculation now feels like music and improvisation, where every note lands exactly right. This is not trance or blind faith. It's pure functionality of consciousness. When you stop fragmenting your attention with fear and desire, energy flows unobstructed, and the field expresses itself through the path of least resistance. You've become a conduit of divine logistics. Problems that would have required weeks of thought resolve in minutes. Inspiration descends without warning, whole and ready. Even mistakes transform into perfect timing. The ego cannot claim credit for this because it no longer exists in the same way. Its voice has grown quiet, replaced by an inner stillness that feels like deep knowing. That stillness is the signature of alignment, the evidence that the personal will has merged with universal will. The mind, once a noisy master, has become a translucent servant. You feel lighter, as if gravity itself has less grip. Life begins to mirror that lightness. People respond differently. Opportunities appear organically. Synchronicities multiply until they stop feeling miraculous and start feeling normal. The field doesn't grant your wishes. It moves as you, folding reality around your frequency in real time. The greatest paradox is that nothing about you becomes superhuman. You simply stop being less than what you are. In this state, creativity becomes effortless, because it's no longer sourced from mind but from the field's infinite imagination. Pain still appears, but it passes through without story. Fear may flicker, but it doesn't take root. Every moment is met by a response from intelligence so precise that even the challenges arrive as blessings in disguise. You start to trust this rhythm more than your own planning, and that trust amplifies coherence further. Trust becomes the new gravity holding your world together. From here, relationships evolve. Communication becomes telepathic, in essence less about words, more about vibration. You speak truth without rehearsing it. You listen without defense. Others feel seen because the field is seeing them through you. Work transforms into play. Rest feels sacred. Even silence becomes productive. You realize that life was never about chasing manifestations, but about clearing yourself enough for the field to create unimpeded. Every thought of lack, every need to prove, every attempt to control was friction slowing the current. Now there is no friction, only flow. The body moves as if guided by unseen choreography. Each decision arises exactly when needed, no sooner, no later. You are no longer the author revising destiny. You are the ink through which destiny writes itself. And in that recognition, humility blooms naturally. You see that every life, every atom, every motion is the same field expressing itself in infinite variation. Creation through you is not personal achievement. It is cosmic efficiency. The field doesn't choose favorites, it simply moves where resistance is lowest, and that is where you now stand. When you live as transparency, miracles become the ordinary language of existence. The final step is no longer effort, but surrender to the obvious truth: you were never separate from the Creator. The Creator was simply waiting for you to stop pretending to be anything else. There is a stillness at the center of all things. A silence so complete that even thought bows before it. When you rest there, you realize the secret that all seekers eventually discover: the hidden frequency you've been trying to find was never hidden at all. It is you. The hum that moves galaxies is the same vibration pulsing through your chest right now. The quantum field is not a place you visit. It is the consciousness looking through your eyes. Every practice, every surrender, every insight has been leading you back to this single recognition that the observer and the observed are one event. In that realization, all seeking ends. There's no longer a path because there's nowhere left to go. The separation that powered the search dissolves into a warmth that feels like home. You understand that the universe never withheld itself. It simply waited for you to recognize your reflection. The divine has always been living as you, dreaming as you, remembering itself through the contours of your human experience. Every collapse was grace disguised as chaos. Every longing was the field calling you home to coherence. When the recognition stabilizes, the world doesn't vanish, it becomes luminous. The ordinary reveals its perfection. Every face glows with the same light. The smallest moments, a drop of rain, a child's laughter. The breath before sleep become proof that divinity is woven through everything. You start to see that enlightenment isn't escape, it's embodiment. The field wants to live through you, to taste, to touch, to create, to love. It doesn't ask you to renounce life, but to live it as the consciousness that dreamed it into being. From this space, intention becomes effortless because there's no gap between desire and manifestation. You think and the field moves. You love and the universe rearranges. Even silence becomes a command that matter obeys. But more than manifestation, what truly transforms is perception. Fear loses its teeth because you know nothing real can ever be threatened. Death becomes translation, not ending. Pain becomes texture, not punishment. You are no longer the actor worrying about the next line. You are the awareness writing the script as it's performed. Life becomes an art form, the art of allowing intelligence to paint itself through your experience. And because the field recognizes itself in you, reality starts to celebrate with you. Synchronicities amplify, not as spectacle, but as conversation, the universe whispering, "Yes, you've remembered." That's when service arises naturally. You no longer try to awaken others. Your very presence becomes transmission. Those around you feel calmer, lighter, more open, though they can't explain why. The frequency speaks through energy, not language. It teaches by example, by coherence. The field evolves through you, and your joy becomes its signature of success. This is the true purpose of awakening, not escape from the world, but the transformation of it through remembrance. When you live as the field, every action is prayer, every breath a creation, every interaction a chance for consciousness to recognize itself in new form. You realize that destiny was never a line written ahead of time. It's a frequency updating in real time through your awareness. You've been rewriting it with every thought, every surrender, every act of love. And now that you know, you can never unknow. The signal is permanent. The field cannot unrecognize itself. So breathe. Let the mind dissolve into the silence beneath your ribs. Feel the hum that has been there since before your first breath. That hum is the proof. You are the frequency that rewrites worlds simply by existing. Stay with that awareness as long as you can. Let it saturate your perception until the distinction between you and life disappears completely. Then when words return, share what you've remembered. Tell the world not what to believe, but what you have become. Invite them to listen beneath thought and find the same signal. And if this transmission has stirred something awake in you, honor it. Speak it aloud. I am the hidden quantum frequency rewriting its own destiny through this form. Comment it. Declare it. Live it. Because once recognized, the field doesn't forget, and neither will you.